Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno, where it's time for a little pug, actually, as we attend the UK premiere of Patrick, the comedy about the loveable pooch. Don't work with children and animals, and here you are working with both. Are you a mad woman?
Yeah. No, actually, it was such a joyful experience. I mean, the kids obviously are amazing. And Harley he's probably the most professional actor I've ever worked with. Always saying his mark, always doing his tricks the right way. I was like, stop showing me up. Oh, mess up just once, please.
This film is there's a strong message of empowerment as well for women, isn't it? Is that something that attracted you?
Yeah, definitely. And also this sort of female crew around it, like Mandie directing, Vanessa producing and co-writing. And it's just so lovely to be part of like a really fierce female team.
And a fierce female is your mother as well. And what was that experience like?
Well, it's like working with your mother. Lovely. No, she's great. I mean, she's amazing at what she does. And, it's always an honour to work with her.
I just wondered how you become involved with introducing your pets into the film industry.
Actually, I run an agency that supplies animals for films, so but we use people's pets all the time. So if they're really obedient, really brave, which is important because film sets are quite scary, so we like them to be brave, otherwise it's not a nice experience. Greedy is great, and pugs are greedy, so he had everything there.
When the filmmakers came, were there any kind of prerequisites other than it being a pug how did he win the part?
Actually, I'd had the script for a while, and I went and chose Harley for this part, so he came as a rehome to me. So I had 12 weeks to get him ready for the film, and but I just knew when I met him that he was very handsome, very greedy, and we're just totally besotted with each other now, and
you can't let go.
No, he lives at my house, sleeps on my bed, pees up my curtains, everything he shouldn't do. But
is there quite a responsibility with what you're doing, and obviously with care for animals and how long they can spend on set? I imagine it's very much like children.
Absolutely, yeah, and of course heat is a big issue because they can't get too hot. But it's also making sure that they feel safe and secure because they don't know that they're making a film. So the most important thing is to make sure that he's just working for me, as happy as it doesn't matter whether there's a film crew there or just me and him. So just he feels total trust in me and secure in himself.
You're like the director.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I tell him ignore everyone else. It's all about me and you.
A great film to be a part of.
So, I'm thrilled. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and it's just such a sweet film. It's got really cool people in it. It's got funny women in it, which is what I'm all about. And it was lovely. It was lovely to do.
And what was it about the character when you read for the part that you liked about it?
Well, it's hilarious because she's a PE teacher, Becky, and I am the most unsporty person in the world. So I thought to myself, right, okay, how am I going to make this convincing? It's not convincing. It's not convincing at all. I'm eating a cake in every single scene, and my running skills are much to be desired. I didn't know I ran like that, first of all. I just thought it would be fun to do something extremely different to anything I've ever done before.
And I think when you're making a film like this, it's one of those films where you need to know how to kind of laugh at yourself, really, especially with the kind of people that you're working with too.
Oh, believe me, when I watched this a couple of weeks ago, I was laughing at myself throughout. Yeah, I look so different too. It's the first time I'd ever had kind of like my hair and makeup stripped away from me. I've got really dark hair and no fake tan on, no makeup. They were scrubbing me on my first day. They were like, nope, got to get this fake tan off. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, no, challenging. But yeah. It's good, healthy, good. It's healthy.
And you're best friends with Beattie in the film as well.
Yes.
Tell us more about that and the relationship and how you work together.
So it was so lovely. I think what's lovely about the film is that it's not based on kind of looking to a male as a hero every time, and with this one, of course there are amazing films out there where we have lovely heroes, but it's more about the relationships between the women and just the kind of general woes of being a young woman and dating, being dumped, dating, making new friends and trying to find your place, and it's just lovely. And Becky and Sarah, they strike up this really sweet friendship. And there's a pug, and what's not to like? It's nice.
This is a great celebrational sort of film, isn't it?
Isn't it nice? I wasn't expecting this, but the sun's out, we're in a park, it's delightful in the middle of London. I put my best suit on, not the jacket, it's too hot. But yeah.
And this film feels like very much a celebration of London as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I think London probably is one of the stars of the film. Like, London looks so beautiful in this film. It's slightly romanticised London. It's the nicer bits of London looking nicer than they usually do. No one's running around council estates, but London does look beautiful in this film, yeah.
And when you read the script, what was it that attracted you most to it?
Well, we live in a time where there's a lot of horrible, horrible things going on right now, and it doesn't all have to be a chore and a challenge. Sometimes it's nice to just sit in a cinema and for 2 hours go, oh, that was nice, wasn't it? Like, no one died, no one got killed, there was no swearing, it was just pleasant for 2 hours. And there's dogs, and everyone likes dogs. Easy.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Is this an enchanting film to become a part of, isn't it?
It's lovely, it's lovely. It's extremely light-hearted, lots of fun, and they say never work with children and animals, but I must say, these animals were real pros. I would work with them again, anytime.
And when you read the script, what attracted you to the story specifically and the character that you played?
Because it was light-hearted and funny and upbeat. Yeah.
And it seems very much a love letter to London. It's not just about...
Well, this is true. This is true. You know, I've reached an age now where I've been running away from London for years, going here, going there, going to Hollywood, all that, you know, the grass is greener. And actually, I love my city more and more. I really love being in London.
And is there any kind of tips for other actors with regards to performing comedy? Because you're such a seasoned actress, you can pass on a lot of good advice. Is there anything that you'd like to pass on?
Gosh, oh my God! You want the book of how to act? I don't know. Just enjoy it and relaxation and enjoyment. That's the key. As soon as you start getting uptight, you're lost.
Are you excited about this?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. I've not seen the film before, but filming it was amazing. Beattie's amazing and hilarious, so it'll be great. Yeah.
Tell us about how you became involved in the project.
So basically my agent just kind of got me an audition for it, and yeah, I went to a couple of auditions, workshops with other actors, and then luckily I got kind of paired with the most awesome people, so yeah, that's how I got involved.
And you're working with like British comic geniuses, is that kind of or is it kind of not yet?
So my mum and dad were obsessed with Absolutely Fabulous, so the day that Jennifer Saunders was there I was like, hi! So that was mental, and obviously Mandie directed the movie, so it was really exciting to be involved in something that already felt, like it was going to be, family, and they kind of already had their thing, and they were so welcoming, so it was great.
And what was it about the character that you liked playing?
So different to me. He's like a total rebel, I'm a bit of a nerd, so that was fun. That really, it was just fun, bit different.
And were you an animal lover before you started the film?
Yeah, sort of. I've got like tortoises at home that my mum's adopted now. So my mum's got 2 Yorkshire Terriers, but they're like miniatures, so they look a bit like Harley. So yeah, a bit, yeah.
Can you tell us more how you became involved with the project?
Well, I'd done Absolutely Fabulous, and Paul DeVos and Vanessa Davies approached me. I have my own dogs. I couldn't think of anything nicer than directing a film with dogs.
I believe you also co-wrote the script as well. How did you all work together and mesh together?
They wrote the original script, and it was quite interesting, but it had a lot of sort of quite adult humour, and I was really very sure that I wanted to make this film friendly for an 8-year-old. Please, you cannot have a film with a pug in it and an 8-year-old can't come and see it. So I very much turned it into a family film.
And you've got a great cast as well. Can you tell us more about how all that really came to fruition?
Well, when you've been doing it as long as I have, you have a few friends in the business. So I was able to get Peter Davison, who I've worked with before, Jennifer, who I've worked with before. And I always said to Bernard Cribbins, we cannot do a British family film without you, so don't think of saying no.
And he said yes?
He said yes! How could he not?
And, is there a relationship, it's not just about dogs and humans, this is very much a human story as well, isn't it?
And also, if it has a little message, that is, as a young woman, you don't need to complete your life by having a man in it. And I think that's a good message for any young woman, and it's there in the film.
Now, you're the producer of the film, but am I correct in saying as well that the film is based on your dog, Patrick?
That's correct. I'm one of the producers, and I wrote the original screen story, and I co-wrote the film with Mandie Fletcher and Paul DeVos. Yes, it is based on my own Patrick and my own love of dogs, really. And no, it was very simple. It came to me just doing one dog walk when I was walking around my favourite park in Richmond, which is Marble Hill Park. And I literally was walking around the park one day, and I realised how many people would come and talk to you and you to them, because you have dogs. Where normally you'd go, Looney, I'm going to, but if you have a dog, it's fine. And I suddenly thought, you really are never alone with a dog. They're such great company, but also you meet so many people by having a dog. And that was in that sort of 45-minute walk, the whole story was born, really, about what if somebody didn't want a dog and Granny bequeathed them. And so that was it. In one simple dog walk, the whole thing came into my head.
But I imagine as well it has to be a very human story. So the fact that the grandmother's bequeathed the dog, there's a sense of responsibility that comes with that.
Yes.
And so was it difficult to carve a human story out of something that celebrates animals as well?
I don't think really. I kind of think of it as an alternative love story, because she's a very modern girl in a sense. Her problem is not the loss of the boyfriend. Her problem is her self-worth. And rather than her solution being in a man, the solution is in herself, and that she grows to love the dog, and in growing to love the dog, she grows to love herself and finds her self-worth. So I'm hoping it's a really modern story about second chances and the love you can get. So it's really a bit of an odd couple relationship. It's imagining a granddad coming to stay with you, and that relationship that turns your life around. So it's a kind of unusual love story, if you like, but an uplifting one, hopefully.
I was going to say, because it's also a comedy, isn't it? So tell us more about writing for comedy. I mean, we've got the queen of comedy actually in the film, haven't we?
We have several queens of comedy. You've got Mandie Fletcher, who is the greatest comedy director in the UK. By far, and you have Jennifer Saunders, and of course you have Beattie Edmondson, daughter of Jennifer and Ade Edmondson. So the comedy, and we've got Mira Sayal, we've got Adrian Scarborough, we've got and Tom Bennett. We have an amazingly clever and funny cast. So and a pug.